I welcome you all to my playlist for the IGCSE Biology. And here we would begin with an entirely new topic. And this new topic, this is entitled as the nutrition in human. And here we will see that how come our alimentary canal is designed and how the various phenomenon of the physical and the chemical digestion they would be brought about by. We would look on toward the structure of the alimentary canal and we will see that how every part of the alimentary canal this is contributing the role in terms of digestion. Now, before we proceed, the first thing that we have to keep it in our mind is that we humans we follow a kind of a nutrition, and that nutrition is holozoic nutrition. Holozoic nutrition simply means that since we humans are not able to make our own food, so what option we have that we would rely on the pre-formed complex food substances. Like we are not forming them, some other organisms are forming them, like the animals that we eat and the plants that we eat. So in those plants and animals on which we feed on, so they have got in their body already pre-formed complex food substances, so we eat them up. So the human nutrition, this basically revolves around certain of the aspects. Initially, we have to be ingesting the food. Like, how come is this possible that if I'm not going to eat up the food, then how the digestion would be brought about by? So initially, we have to be ingesting the food, and then we have to be taking that food into the physical and the chemical digestion. And that even would not be enough to be fulfilling the needs of my body until or unless I bring about the absorption of the digested food materials into the blood. And at the end, after I have absorbed them up into the blood, then I have to take them to the cells because this is my situation where I not only have to eat the food, to be digesting the food, to be absorbing the food, and finally I have to take them into the cells of my body so that they can be utilizing them for various functions. So if I were to simply show you these aspects of the nutrition with the help of the simplified diagram, so here I have got it up. So you see that initially we eat the food up, and after we have eaten the food up, then we have to be digesting the food particles up because these food particles that we have got with us, so they are very complex, they are large, they are insoluble, so they can't enter into the cells directly. So I have to be taking these food particles later into the physical and the chemical digestion. Once they would be broken down into the small, soluble, simple molecules, I have to absorb them into the blood. After I have absorbed them into the blood, so now I have to take them into the cells. And when I would take them into the cells, if we were bringing the glucose to the mitochondria, so these mitochondria, they would combine this glucose molecules with the oxygen gas, and finally we would make the energy in the form of ATP out of it. So if I were to quickly be telling you that how you are supposed to be remembering these aspects of the nutrition that we have got in the human body. So the first aspect is ingestion, where we eat up or we ingest the food particles. When I have to be talking about the digestion, so you see that the food particles that we eat up in our diet, so they are large, complex, and insoluble food substances. And when I would be digesting them up, so they become small, they become simple, and they become the soluble molecule, and that would allow them to be going into the cells. And when they would enter into the cells, so they would be utilized for the cell's activity. And afterward, I have to be doing the absorption, like after I have digested them up. So what absorption is that whenever we have got these digested food particles and when they would go into the blood capillaries, so this would be the absorption phenomenon. After we have absorbed into the blood, how you have to remember this assimilation in the way of that this is a process where the absorbed food particles that we have got with us, so they would be utilized for the cell's activities. Now you see that for the digestion phenomenon that is a part of our nutrition thing. So this digestion would involve a specialized system that has developed into the body of the human beings, and this we call this as the digestive system. Now the situation is that this digestive system that we have developed in our body, so this further comprises on two major things. On one side, we have the alimentary canal, and along with the alimentary canal, we have got these accessory organs. What alimentary canal is, this is a tubulated structure we will see in a while, and this would continue from, or this would start from the mouth and it would be terminating at the point of an anus, from where we would be removing the undigested food materials out of our body. Now we have to be very much clear about it, what these accessory organs are. Now, the point is that these accessory organs they are not directly the part of the alimentary canal, but still they have got some major role in the digestive process, so we have to discuss them along with the alimentary canal. Like if I were to quote you an example, like in daily life, you people would be using the cell phones and you may be attaching some AirPods with it or power bank with your mobile phone. So the power bank and the AirPods that you have with you, so they're not the part of the phone, but still they enhance the function of the cell phone. So likewise, the accessory organs, they are not direct part of the alimentary canal, but still they have got some contribution in the digestive process. And among these accessory organs, we have this liver coming up, we have the pancreas with us, then there would be this gallbladder, and we would have the salivary glands with us. So they would be the accessory organs. Now, if I were to quickly take you that what do we have in the alimentary canal? So you may have learned it in your previous classes, in the junior classes. So we have the mouth and the buccal cavity. Afterward, we have the pharynx. Then we have the esophagus or the food pipe. Then there would be coming up of the stomach. Then afterward, we would have the small intestines. And in the small intestines, we have this duodenum. Then we have this jejunum coming. And then we would have this ileum. So small intestine overall has got three of these subparts in it. And as far as the phenomenon or the scenario of the large intestine has to be bothered, so it further had further three subparts. We have the cecum, then we would have the colon in it, and then we would be having the rectum in it. And the large intestine where they would eliminate, where they would terminate. So this is what we regard this as an anus, we say. Let us just quickly go to be seeing the diagram of this alimentary canal that we have with us. So you see that initially we have the mouth and the buccal cavity. Buccal cavity would mean that what we have got on the inside of the mouth. Then there would be coming up of a point here that is a common part of the digestive system and the respiratory system. So we would have the pharynx coming, and then there would be this tubulated structure coming, and this is regarded as an esophagus. The esophagus would connect itself to this muscular bag, and this muscular bag is what we refer to this as stomach. And at this point, we have got the small intestine, and for your level, there is no such requirement that you must know that where the duodenum, jejunum, or the ileum is lying. But when I just take you at this point, so here you see that there is this appendix coming, and then this first part of the large intestine, this is cecum. And then from here till here, so this is what we refer to this as the colon, and that part where the undigested food particles they would be stored for some time. So this is the rectum, and the rectum is eliminating at the point of the anus. So if I were to just quickly summarize this, so here we have the mouth and the buccal cavity. Here we have got the pharynx coming. So this is the esophagus. This is the stomach. And at this point, there would be the small intestines coming, and this all the part that is denoted with the kind of a pinkish kind of a labeling. So they are the large intestines with us. Now, here comes my handmade diagram to further clear your concept. So if you were to quickly see, so this again is mouth, here comes the pharynx, and this is the esophagus, this is the stomach. And the stomach, the point where it is joining with the small intestine, so we have a sphincter, and the name of the sphincter is gastric sphincter. Then here you see we have got these small intestines coming. And here I have labeled it up for you. So the first part of the small intestine is duodenum, the second part would be the jejunum, and the third part would be ileum. And collectively, these three they would be making the small intestine. For the large intestine, here we have the cecum, then from this point to this point, so this would be the colon. Here we have the rectum, and the termination of this would be the anus with us. Now, here we have to simply see is that how come we would be able to connect these small intestines that we have to the accessory organs. So you just see is that this is the duodenum, and to which I would be connecting the accessory organs. So you see, this is the diagram I have got with me. So here we have the first part of the small intestine. And to the first part of the small intestine, this major endocrine gland is being connected. And this is what we refer to this as the liver. With the liver, there would be the presence of this bladder that we have got with us. And this bladder is referred to as the gallbladder. And we will see later that this gallbladder stores something in it that we refer to this as the bile juice and the bile pigments. And you see this leaf kind of a structure that is drawn here. So these are what we refer to them as the pancreas. So now the situation is that the liver is being connected to the duodenum of the small intestine with the help of the duct, with the help of a tube, and that tube would be regarded as the bile duct. And these pancreas that we have got with us, so they are also connected to the small intestine with the help of this tube coming out of it. And this would join the bile duct at some point. And this is what we refer to this, or we regard this as the pancreatic duct.